The Bombay High Court has granted bail to Mohammed Raisuddin, an accused in the Padma ISIS case of Maharashtra, who spent close to 7 years in prison. While granting bail, the Bombay HC stated that the prayer for bail on account of prolonged delay in conclusion of trial needs to be considered in the background of the period of incarceration, the prospect of completion of trial within a reasonable time, the gravity of the charge and other attending circumstances. In 2016, an FIR was registered by the Anti-Terrorism Squad (ATS) against the accused, alleged to have been an ISIS member living in Syria. The ATS alleged that some of the accused were in contact with members of the Islamic State and other terrorist organizations banned by the United Nations and the Indian government. They were alleged to have been planning and making bombs and IEDs to cause a blast during Ramzan, for which they had procured the required material. Raisuddin had filed his plea through advocates Mubin Solkar and A.R. Bukhari and had sought quashing and setting aside of the lower court order by which his bail was rejected. The Bombay HC noted that in this case, the charge was framed on March 17, 2021 and the accused is in custody since his arrest on July 14, 2016, i.e. for almost 7 years. Considering the number of witnesses to be examined, it is unlikely that the trial would conclude within a reasonable time. We have, in detail, considered the evidence on record against the accused, the gravity of the charges against him and the period already undergone by him as well as the minimum term of imprisonment prescribed for the offences punishable under Section 16, 18 and 18b of the UAPA, ultimately if the accused is convicted. The court also said, having perused the evidence on record, we also find that the role of the accused is similar to that of another accused Iqbal Ahmed against whom there are statements similar to that of the accused. In fact, a soldered IED as well as an oath bat was recovered from Iqbal Ahmed's residence. The court saw that Iqbal had been granted bail in 2021. While granting bail to Raisuddin, the court also looked through the evidence and said, considering the material on record, we are prima facie of the opinion that the said circumstances relied upon by the prosecution do not appear to be of such a nature so as to sustain a reasonable belief that the accusations against the accused are prima facie true, and hence, having regard to the same, the bar under Section 43d(5) of the UAPA will not apply. We have very closely and meticulously gone through the statements of prosecution witnesses and have also given our findings as to their nature and contents thereof. Totality of the material gathered by the investigation agency qua appellant accused and presented before us does not prima facie point out the involvement of the appellant accused in the aforesaid offences.